Stories, spirituality, pathways, and aliens. You're here on The Long Road Home.
Number one victory royale. Yeah, Fortnite, we about to get down. 10 kills on the board right now. Just wiped out Tomato Town. My friend just got down. I revived him. Now we're heading southbound. Now we're in the Pleasant Park streets. So look at the map, go to the mark sheets. Take me to your Xbox to play Fortnite today. I don't know, we can keep singing this. He might sue us.
Oh, shit. That's it. I don't know
That's
the
all we
words
got.
anymore.
I don't know.
I don't know the words.
I don't know what song it was. What are we doing? Welcome to the Long Road Home, everybody. If that song's been stuck in your head, then you're up there with the likeness and the greatness of me and Emily. And
we're starting
Chad.
a club. We're going to get jackets.
Yeah, the Fortnite jackets. I've never played Fortnite. Don't know anything about it. I know it's like Minecraft and shooty stuff, but that's about it. And that kid plays it.
Yep. I like your style, man. You know that song actually came out like 3 years ago?
That song right there?
That
the
song
kid's
right
version
there.
of the song?
Yep.
Really?
I watched an interview yesterday, and it came out 3 years ago, and his voice has changed now.
Oh, he can't even do it anymore?
He can't really do it anymore.
That's so disappointing for him. He can't go to Coachella like the little yodeling kid
I
did.
know. He blew up too late.
Oh, man. Well, anywho, welcome to the show, everybody. We're not talking about
Emily.
Fortnite. I'm Chad.
Yeah, did we introduce ourselves?
We did. We already said hi, but that's okay.
Hi. Did we say our names?
Yeah, we did. Well,
No
I said your name, and then I said, I'm Chad.
Oh, you said my name. You introduced me.
I introduced us both.
I got
I don't
distracted. I'm
know
sorry.
why I did that.
Well, before we dive in, I just kind of wanted to talk to you guys about something that's been on my mind lately. Do you mind if we just riff a little, Chad?
Nah, let's riff.
Okay.
Man.
So here's what I'm stepping in. You know, I came across this TikTok video like a month or two ago, and it seemed really innocent. It was just this nice looking guy in this pretty place in Tennessee, and he was inviting people to his commune, which is not uncommon on TikTok, at least not on my For You page.
All right, that's fair. I never see that, but okay.
Really? You never get the commune? We have started a commune. You should join our
No,
commune.
not really. I've seen like a couple of them, but
I
we
get quite
are
a
like
few.
big into TikTok, by the way, guys. That's where we get a lot of our information
Oh,
from
yeah.
these
I guess
days.
we're really just riffing on TikTok. Wow, second time I'm using riffing. I've never used that word before, but here we are.
We're doing it.
We're doing it. So yeah, it started out as a really innocent video, but now I'm seeing more and more videos talking about the same commune, and there's a lot of different characters that have become involved. Like, it was just this nice looking ginger guy, and now I've seen a bunch of other people, and they all just look a little too happy, and they're openly giving out their address for the commune, and they're like, "Join our commune. Here's the address. We're in Lafayette, Tennessee. Come do it. It's awesome."
Yeah, you should definitely come here. We're
But I
definitely
just-
not having dirty, filthy group sex all the time.
I mean, I feel like most communes are doing that anyway, but
That's besides the
I feel
point.
like there's more
Honestly,
going on.
That's one of the pros. So,
Exactly. But no, I feel like there's more going on here. Everyone looks really, really happy. They're openly giving out the address, which other communes don't do. It's more like they're just kind of flexing on you. They're like, "We live this awesome life." But then they don't give you any more information. But these guys are just come to the commune, which I guess, again, at first glance was cool. But now, 2 months in, it looks like they're just going to get out of control. And I'm pretty sure if you're thinking about going to that commune, you should call your dad because you might be in a cult.
all right. Well, you heard it here first. Emily thinks it's a cult. Could be. I don't know. It sounds like, look, I
I'll
wouldn't
post
go.
the videos on Discord. I'll post the videos on the Discord. You guys, we can start a discussion about it. If we take a vote and everyone thinks that it's fine, then we'll just move on and it's fine. But
I wouldn't go to
know.
Tennessee for anything. At
I
all.
know. I know.
I don't have a good
But we have a
friendship
lot of
with
listeners
Tennessee.
in Tennessee.
Do we though?
We do, actually.
Look, if you want to live there, be my guest. But I personally think it's hot, and if Dolly Parton wasn't there, I'd have absolutely no reason to go.
Yeah, Dollywood, man. That's a good reason to go to Tennessee, but probably just that one reason.
I spent a lot of time in the Newport parking lot not doing shit.
Yeah,
and I
Chad
watched
is
some guy
from-
pull a gun out
We
and
should say that-
wave it around at someone else in that parking lot, and I quit going after that.
Yeah, we should say that if you haven't listened to our other episodes, Chad is from the Tennessee-North Carolina line, so he's a little biased. It's not personal.
It's like the difference between Ukraine and whatever nice country borders Ukraine. And North Carolina was the good side. And it's still not that great. So,
it's not.
All right. That's enough bashing the South for me today.
All right. Moving on.
I love our listeners there, but you should get out.
So, should I just dive in?
Yeah, go ahead. What are we talking about today, Emily?
We are talking about the strange story of Erin Valenti.
Yeah, I hadn't heard of this until Emily brought it up, and it's pretty like the circumstances surrounding the story is what really makes it strange to me.
Do you want to know something that now I'm realizing is bad?
What?
And I shouldn't. I maybe
What?
need a break. I got the idea for this story from TikTok.
Like, I don't care.
I might have a
what
problem.
China's saying.
I might have a problem.
App has sucked my brain in. I've got more dopamine from that app than Instagram, Facebook, any of that bullshit.
Seriously. Maybe we should join TikTok. Anyway, okay.
TikTok's
let's
a cult.
Focus. It's a cult too.
Oh, wait, before we start, we need our sources.
Oh, okay. I mean, I
A big,
format
nice,
my documents
heaping
differently.
fat,
I'm
chunky
sorry.
thank
They're
you
at the bottom.
to our sources.
Alrighty. We got our information for today's episode from Business Insider, Heavy.com. The Frank Report, which if you're like following the NXIVM stuff, he's like super involved in that. It's fine. Not like involved in the cult, but involved in exposing the cult. But then also he's kind of just a little bit woo, but it's fine. We also got information from WallyCollie.com.
What? Wally Collie?
I think that's what it is. It says Wally Collie. It was just like a wiki for her, about her, but it wasn't Wikipedia.
It looks like Wally Collie to me.
Yep. And also, I did a lot of digging on websleuths.com, which is a fun website if you're wanting to dig around on some weird cases. Ontocore, Elevaze.com, and Washington Post.
Okay. Now,
Okay.
let's start.
Today we are going to tell you the strange story of Erin Valenti, whose body was discovered on Saturday, October 12th, 2019, in the backseat of her rental car, parked along a quiet residential street just outside of San Jose. Valenti had traveled to California for a workshop and tech conference and to visit friends and colleagues, but was found days later after she failed to make her return flight home to Utah on October 7th. So, let's start with Erin. At the age of 33, Erin Valenti was a very successful young woman. According to her LinkedIn bio, she was the founder and CEO of Tinker Ventures. She was a social entrepreneur and product developer. She was a venture capitalist, a writer, a climber, and a yogi. Her LinkedIn section reads, quote, I have a successful track record of 10 years of cross-functional leadership experience building and investing in disruptive technology companies. I'm passionate about helping startups with product development, fundraising, and scaling. I'm always looking for the next great idea to work on or invest in. Reach out to me anytime to chat.
So you know this woman had a lot of pantsuits.
Absolutely.
She was
I don't know. She was like pretty loosey-goosey. She was pretty cool. She had pantsuits.
Yeah.
She had pantsuits too. Definitely. She was a
Nothing
boss
wrong with
lady.
a pantsuit. Just that corporate. She was in the corporate lifestyle heavily.
Yeah.
That's what really I'm talking shit about. She was just very heavily involved in the corporate lifestyle.
She was an active networker.
Yeah.
That was who she was. That was what she was known for. She was like.
She was a weekend warrior. When she was at work, she was working.
She was slaying. Anyway. She was born in 1986 and grew up in the greater Salt Lake area. After college, she was hired as an associate at a private equity firm, Summit Partners in Palo Alto, California, where she learned how to cold call and source deals for the partners. Valenti showed a complete refusal to fail, a former coworker said, recalling their late nights studying the markets and eating gyro wraps at the office. After 4 years at the company, she was beginning to feel like life there wasn't enough. She was feeling the itch to build something of her own, but her life was shifting along with her husband's. Having completed his doctoral studies in psychology, he had been offered a fellowship at his top choice, a veterans hospital in Utah, and family says Valenti felt like it was her turn to follow him.
That was very nice of him to want to go to a veterans hospital because those aren't great.
Yeah, that was his top choice.
Good on him.
Good people.
Yeah, great.
Salt Lake City was not the setting she had envisioned for pursuing her startup, but her husband, whom she had met on ski vacation when she was 18, had followed her to California. Once she arrived in Salt Lake, she quickly became known for her booming voice and no apparent filter, becoming a linchpin in the area's up-and-coming tech scene. Local entrepreneurs say that she willed a community into existence, gathering the people and companies of the Silicon Slopes in meeting rooms and bars. A former coworker, Ryan Krasinska
sounds like
it's not Zenska.
fucking the Big Bang
I said it
Theory
wrong.
Catchphrase.
I said it wrong. That does. A former coworker, Ryan Kruzenga, is quoted saying, "It's not that she came to like Salt Lake City. She made it into something she liked better," which is really
She came
cool.
in with her California attitude and really whipped those Mormons up.
No, not
Like
at
an egg
all.
beater.
Not at all. She was a part of the outdoor rec scene. She was an avid ice climber and mountain climber. Ice climber might be lying. I might be lying to you. No, but she was a mountaineer, I should say.
All right, cool.
So she was like a mountaineer in her free time, boss lady, 9 to 5. Made her own networking groups
Pi
in the
Day
area.
is what you're telling me. She was cool. She was one of the cool people in Salt Lake. Pi Day is a total, complete rebellion against Mormonism that they do up there. I know that. So shout out to those people that are going to Pi Day this year after the vaccines and all of us.
Shout out to Pi Day. I don't know about Pi Day, but yeah, get 'em. But no, she was a cool lady, and she came to the place. She was like, I want to build something, and she did. But a little bit before she built her empire, Erin took a job as the head of product at Overstock.com headquarters and found pleasure in her new home's ample outdoor pursuits, learning to slot into the sandstone canyons and climb out. So she would just like drop into the canyons.
Yeah,
Climb back out.
those slot canyons are cool. Never been in one. They look a little too, I don't know, I'm claustrophobic. I don't know if I would like being down in there.
Yeah.
I'd like to go into like one of the wider ones. It'd be cool.
The wider ones are cool. It looks really cool. I just think I would get scared.
The desert is a beautiful place. Highly recommend you go if you haven't.
She also enjoyed hiking and on idler days floating down the Provo River on an inner tube, which who doesn't love to go tubing?
Is nice.
It's very nice. I wanted to note another passion of Erin's here as well. According to her LinkedIn page, Valenti was a volunteer for Not for Sale, described as an advocate for anti-human trafficking initiatives. She participated in humanitarian missions to Uganda in 2008. She was also a volunteer in economic empowerment for the International Rescue Committee and participated in mentoring refugee entrepreneurs.
That's actually really cool. That's a very cool part of the story. She was very involved in that, and she didn't like what was going on in the world, and she was trying to make a change.
She really was. She had like her hand in many baskets. Is that the saying?
Any successful person's like that. Take
Yeah.
notes, guys. Up until the murder, she was going places.
Yeah, she did go places, and she would have gone a lot further, and she would have done a lot more. But anyway, I guess I opened with the body, so you guys already know the ending. But like,
And I said murder like I know what happened, but this is a mystery.
it's a mystery.
Don't forget.
We don't know. Okay. Hoping to meet new people, Valenti started organizing a monthly meetup for tech workers at a downtown sports bar. At one of those happy hours, she met Utah tech booster Clint Betts, who wanted to throw the state's biggest ever tech gathering. Valenti tapped on the shoulders of those she knew at Overstock to sponsor the event, which ended up being attended by over 4,000 people. So, again, just like...
She owned it.
She was an incredible lady. A Utah entrepreneur by the name of Amy Stellhorn is quoted as saying, "You could almost not find someone who didn't know Erin." While Erin enjoyed her work at Overstock as a product developer, office politics grated on her, and after 10 months, she left to start her own company. During a previous business venture, Erin had already tried running a startup. She created a work-for-hire service called SkyCrane that let people offload their administrative tasks to freelancers helped by automation. The business wasn't making as much money as she wanted, though, and Valenti had to shut it down after a few years. Even though the business closed, she used that insight about the flaws of business to inform another new idea for an app development startup. After talking it over with her business partner, Amir Khan, who had worked for her previous startup, the pair founded Tinker together in 2015. This startup went much better than the first, and Tinker developed a reputation for building great products on time.
What was Tinker?
They help people develop apps. They're an
so
app
it's an app
development
that
company.
develops apps. So app inception.
I think it's an app development startup. So the business is that they develop apps. They're not an app.
They're not
They
an app.
develop apps.
Okay, that's cool. I understand now. But it'd be cool if they were.
It'd be, yeah. I mean, who knows what she had? Who knows what she had in her back pocket? Most days, Valenti worked from home, alone in her den at the base of Utah's Wasatch Mountains. Wasatch Mountains. Set up at an oversized table and a high-back white leather chair. The ceiling beams were painted fuchsia to match the company's logo, which I just thought was a nice detail. You can just see her now. You can just see her now.
She was in there. She was feeling herself. She liked her house. She liked what she was doing.
Mm-hmm.
She was a good place.
Khan, who was and is still located in Pakistan, oversaw the company's operations, while Erin was responsible for landing customers and keeping those already on its rolls. She was an avid networker, and one friend said Tinker had sold out its capacity for 2019 by March.
Wow, so they were
booked.
They were good
by March.
Yeah,
first quarter.
Confident.
They
People
were
were
booked for the rest
confident
of the
in
year. Tinker's customers were mostly young startups, and many fizzled out, along with the promise of repeat business. Even as the business flourished, it seems as if something was still weighing on Erin during this productive time of her life. Scott Rafferty, a Utah entrepreneur and friend of Erin, said that she talked all the time about quitting what had become $1 million business, but she never meant it. So, you know, like anyone that kind of gets burnt out. When
It's easy to forget.
When you're shooting the shit with your friends, sometimes you're just like, oh, one day I'm going to get out of here. I'm going to do bigger and better things.
Yeah.
But she did love she painted the ceiling beams, the company's color. You know, like she loved her company.
Turns out everyone has feelings.
Yeah, it's crazy, isn't it?
That asshole on the yacht, he has a bad day every now and then, and you should know that. Why do you want to raise the minimum wage?
That just reminded me, what was it? The guy, oh my God. The CEO of Capri Sun, or the guy who invented Capri Sun, somebody who was a big top guy at Capri Sun, just crashed his yacht the other day.
That's really sad.
I'll put the video in the Discord. Anyway.
You guys have said, I don't know if we can put videos in the Discord. You gotta be
I
careful
can.
about
I
saying
haven't.
that. Oh, you can?
I
Okay,
have
good.
done it. Yeah.
Good, we got the bandwidth. We're in.
Got it.
Hacker Man.
We're good. I've already posted videos. Did you not watch them?
I'm on. I got a lot of. My hands are in a lot of pots.
That's
these
what
days,
I thought. Yeah.
And I stay busy.
Okay. All right. Let's get back to the story. Erin told Scott Rafferty, her friend that we were just talking about, that she felt responsible for the welfare of more than 130 engineers and their families on the other side of the world. So she had a lot weighing on her, but she was a strong lady. In the 5 years as head of Tinker, Valenti was its only long-standing employee in the U.S. Quote, she was lonely working from home, her younger brother, Chris Valenti, said. After he dropped out of medical residency a year prior, Chris said his sister insisted that he live with them for a few months. He remembered she liked having the company and home cooking. Erin also tried to find other ways to fill her need for human interaction, which it sounds like she was getting a lot. She was just a major extrovert. She met clients for coffee at Coffee Joint, a co-working space in Salt Lake, and began hosting art hours on Friday nights at home for friends who could bring their own supplies. In 2019, Valenti seemed ready for another change. What she wanted to do next, though, was unclear. A friend by the name of, we already referenced Clint Metz, didn't we?
I think we did.
Clint. Clint.
Yeah, just good old Clint.
He said that she wanted to buy billboards along Interstate 15 to announce a venture fund that would invest in companies led by women with the intent of starting a conversation and not a firm. So she was literally going to put billboards out there just to meet and support other entrepreneurs.
Okay, so she was I bet she was pretty well off at this point to be able to just throw up billboards everywhere.
Yeah, she was doing well.
Venture capital is no cheap thing to do.
Oh, definitely. No, definitely not. She was also working on a clothing line for professional women who, quote, slay at work and sex. So there's that. I told you she was a badass bitch. Another friend who saw Valenti the week before her death said that she wanted to support artists and filmmakers. Others say the entrepreneur had plans to finance a startup accelerator inside her company. Her co-founder, Khan, said the two had discussed the idea only casually. Her husband, Harrison Weinstein, said that she had 1 million half-cooked ideas and many projects and prototypes floating around.
What a terrible last name to have anymore.
I know.
So many of them, and they all get the same stupid fucking joke.
I'm sure they do. He believed his wife wanted to work on a travel-inspired business. She would call her friends on car rides to discuss or gather them at home to brainstorm over a bottle of wine. Her feelings of restlessness continued to grow, and in late summer, she reached out to a friend wanting an executive coach. That friend was also Scott Rafferty, who we were talking about earlier. It so happens that his coach was about to organize a retreat in California.
All right, so it's apparent she was pretty smart, but she just really couldn't land on something that she was able to find great enjoyment in.
It was more that she just, she would start a project, see it to a place where it would it could run on its own, and then she was just ready for the next thing. Always just ready for the next thing.
That's crazy.
Craving projects. She was just one of those really, really driven entrepreneur
I woke
people.
up at 10 a.m. this morning, and I
not.
crawled out of bed at 10 a.m. You couldn't tell me to be this busy. I just, like, I don't know how people do it. I really don't. Like, I'm trying to be better, and I have a lot of stuff in the works. But to be that high level of efficiency is, to me, incomprehensible.
It's another level. She operated on another level.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I think she was cool.
I didn't say she wasn't cool. Just very busy.
Yeah. No, definitely.
So, Erin arrived in the affluent beach town of Laguna Niguel on a sunny October day. The workshop she was to attend, called Create Powerful, was designed for leaders to reflect and move past their perceived limits. Her friend likened it to a Tony Robbins seminar, but for business owners. The next 3 days were a mix of lectures, partner work, and time alone spent journaling. The last time her friend Rafferty saw her, she was bouncing from guest to guest at a sunset dinner at the hotel. The workshop had sparked her interest in hiring a local team in order to give her the capacity to pursue other interests while still helping run Tinker. That evening, after the presentation, she saw Rafferty one last time, giving him a hug goodbye. So Erin goes to this seminar to meet an executive coach, and it sounds like she had a really good time from what we were able to gather. Her friend, John Rafferty?
Scott Rafferty
was there. He was able to, he communicated with her that night, and she seemed like she was doing pretty good at the time.
Yeah, she was jazzed. She was that her busy bee self, running around.
Yeah, she was really enjoying
shaking hands, kissing babies.
But Erin's workshopping and networking didn't stop there. On the morning of October 3rd, she flew to the Bay Area for another tech gathering that week, a 2-day conference in Monterey for founders and tech investors to network and learn. So it's during the second workshop trip that things start to get a little strange surrounding Erin, and things seem to really start to go downhill for her.
Very quickly.
Yeah, I don't really. This is odd. We'll just get
into it. Yeah.
So according,
we just said that. Okay.
Just because I gotta stop leading myself into what I'm talking about.
I know.
It's gotta end.
We just get excited.
So according to her father, Joseph Valenti, Erin did some shopping while she was there. But interestingly, her card statements show that she spent several $100s on vinyl records, even though she didn't own a turntable. So she bought all this shit for seemingly no reason.
Yeah, and I think it was like $700 is what I saw.
Oh, wow. That's
in vinyl records.
That's 2 car payments. What?
That's a lot.
That's a lot of money to spend on records.
She blew that cash on records. She did not
ridiculous.
have a record player.
On Sunday, she had dinner in Palo Alto with a Mr. J.J. Cardwell, who was the principal at Summit Partners when he was Valenti's first boss. He stated her excitement over the workshop about how it helped her reconcile many of her work troubles. He recalls, quote, she cared deeply about Tinker and it mattered a lot to her identity. She was very committed to the continued path there, but she realized that she could do both. She had elevated enough as an executive and entrepreneur that she realized she didn't have to be one thing. Any normal human being can do one thing. This guy's roided out at this point. When
in it.
A lot of
these people in their quotes, you can tell that they are heavily embedded within this like productivity porn.
Yeah.
Pushing beyond and leveling up and being a different type of entrepreneur, the best type of entrepreneur.
Yeah, a lot of keywords.
Yeah.
A lot of keywords in a lot of the stuff.
Buzzwords.
Yeah. So Erin, after attending this meeting, is believed to have been last seen by a former manager of hers at Summit Partners, Dean Jacobson, on Monday afternoon. He recalled Valenti as vibrant and uniquely talented in an email to Business Insider journalists, but he did not want to be interviewed for the story, so it didn't have...
Which, honestly, now, like, hearing it back, I'm like, we probably should have looked into Summit Partners a little bit more. That's really weird, right? She had dinner with one guy on Sunday night and then lunch with another guy from Summit Partners the next, and that's
maybe she was just trying to get their business.
Maybe. I don't know. Okay, anyway.
On Monday, October 7th, Whitney Valenti, Erin's mother, sat in her living room with her son Chris in Rochester, New York. They talked on the speakerphone with Erin. She was calling from 2,900 miles away in Palo Alto, California, where she had just left a friend's and couldn't find her rental car. According to her mom, she sounded manic and confused. She told her about plans for Thanksgiving, and she told them that it was all a game. According to Chris, Erin asked him, "Are you in on it?" Whitney, a retired nurse, asked if she had been drinking or had been given drugs. Erin answered no. A bit later, Erin is quoted as saying, "It's all a game. It's a thought experiment. We're in the Matrix." An officer with the San Jose police called Valenti to make a welfare check at her husband's request. She said she was fine. The police later told the family that because Valenti was an adult, her case would be treated as a voluntary missing person. She could have just taken off for a couple of days without telling anybody. This theory sparked anger among some of the people who knew Erin, and they started to try and find out what exactly was going on with her. She just wasn't coming home, and she had stopped making contact with him after that strange phone call. And so people went onto her Facebook page, and they were writing things like, I would like to emphasize how out of character this would be for Erin. While she is adventurous, she is not foolhardy and would never intentionally be out of contact with her family. As a psychologist, I'm especially concerned about her last calls, which were confusing and disjointed. So her family was actually really good about realizing there was something wrong, and they didn't hesitate, and they immediately began to figure out how to get a hold of her.
Yeah, they hopped
find
on
her,
it.
at least. Yeah, they did. That was really, honestly, smart of them. It was a good call. So Weinstein flew out the next morning to look for his wife, and Valente's parents joined him a few days later. They also hired a private investigator. People from all over, including those who didn't know her, posted Erin's photo on Facebook groups for hikers in the Bay Area in case someone had seen her on a trail. One friend even enlisted the help of a drone hobbyist who offered to fly over areas where Valente's phone had last pinged cell phone towers. Unfortunately, her vehicle did not have any tracking devices in it, and by Monday night her phone was off. In the days that followed, there was no activity on her credit or debit card either, so things are starting to not look great.
Yeah, that part's really weird to me, too,
Yeah.
that there's no more activity on her cards.
On Saturday, 5 days after Erin went missing, a friend in the search party found her rental car on a quiet residential street minutes from San Jose International Airport. There were no signs of any injuries or struggle. The San Jose Police Department confirmed in a statement that, quote, a body was located inside a vehicle parked on the street in the 6500 block of Bowes Lane. I thought it was worth noting that the neighborhood where Erin was found was actually very upper middle class. It's got private schools, there's hiking trails all over it, and a whole lot of Whole Foods, way too many. Erin's husband was now a practicing psychologist and said that his wife had no diagnosis of a mental health disorder. He does say that her behavior had some of the characteristics of a manic episode, including feelings of euphoria, racing thoughts, and a hard time keeping attention. To this day, he still insists that the event was extremely out of character and she had not shown symptoms before. So this is where Erin was found. She was found in a rental car.
In the back seat.
Yeah, I forgot to mention that. She was in the back seat. That's probably a key point that I should have said. Sorry. It's very odd.
Yeah, weird. Weird stuff.
Weird
stuff
indeed.
Is happening.
Well, not only that, it took 4 months for Erin's cause of death to be released. I don't know how long it takes for cause of death to be released usually.
I don't know either.
No clue. So maybe that isn't unusual. It feels like a long time. But regardless, it didn't bring much clarity to those following the story. The autopsy ruled her manner of death natural and said the cause was, quote, sudden death in the setting of an acute manic episode. I don't know what that means.
What the fuck? Nobody knows what it means.
Really don't.
It
It's
literally means
weird.
that she had a manic episode and curled up in the backseat of her car and died.
The only thing that I can think is she had some sort of heart issue.
Why didn't they say the heart issue?
And I don't know. That is weird. That's a
Right?
strange diagnosis.
That's a strange diagnosis.
Yeah. If anyone out there, you a doctor, you know what that means?
Can you
Tell
explain it to us, please?
Explain it to us like we're 5.
Because
And make it involve cookies. Because this was sad, and I want to be happy.
Give us
Don't talk about it anymore.
Yeah.
Her mother, Agnes, said she had been told that the autopsy might be inconclusive because of her daughter's body. It was found days after her death, presumably anyway. So they think that it had been a while in between the time that she died and the time that they found her.
And I also wanted to mention that I found that the car had they were able to figure out that the car, so they found the car on Saturday. It had been parked there since Thursday.
Okay, so it had been a couple days.
Yeah.
Ugh. Blood tests were negative for common prescription drugs and other substances, and Erin's mother believes that the answer to her daughter's death may honestly never be solved with the amount of evidence that's been collected. So, what really happened to Erin? Why was the cause of death so vague? What does acute manic episode even mean? Unfortunately, for now, we may never find an answer.
So, now that we know Erin's story, let's chat a little bit about the tidbits that lie in the periphery of this story.
I think that's really what makes it
it's a little
unsettling.
weird. And it's the more you go... Anyway, okay, I always do this. Okay, we'll just do it.
Okay.
We'll start with the first workshop that Erin attended prior to her disappearance. At first glance, Create Powerful might seem like any other professional seminar series. But once you start doing a little digging, you start to notice that the people involved tend to share similar interests in pushing beyond the average human experience. In a quote pulled directly from the company's website, quote, Create Powerful is a turning point. It is the moment where successful men and women come to terms with the perceived limits of their success and the psychological boundaries that hold them back. Now, as someone who is personally involved with leadership and business coaching, a lot of language used on their site is fairly typical. I will say that. She was a part of disruptive technology, right? You got to like break down the barriers to success. It's just part of
the shtick.
The shtick, exactly.
Synergy.
Yes, precisely. But
synergy.
But knowing what happened to Erin in the days following her attendance, it's not hard to find the review section a little alarming. Pages of reviews list others' experiences at the conference. And I just kind of wanted to read these out one after the other because I feel like it's a lot. Okay. Quote, "It has profoundly changed the way I think. It's going to be one of the hardest things mentally you ever done, and it will absolutely change your life. I'm way more awake to what is going on in my personal and professional life. That's been the life-changing part of it. I feel like the power went from out in the world to come home to rest inside of me."
Oh, I don't like that one.
When you commit to this ongoing process, you get this amazing, elevated level of being.
That's so weird. And, we mentioned Tony Robbins earlier, and I don't know if you might not know who that is, guys. He hosted these really, like, a physical business seminars. I don't remember what decade it was.
Yeah, those were Tony Robbins seminars.
Yeah, they were. And basically, you'd go in there, and they would shout at you, and they would push you. I think that he would even, like, slap people and put them in cages and stuff in order to, like, make them better business people. So they were hyper aggressive, and a lot of the people came out saying almost the exact same type of shit about those. So the Tony Robbins vibes are real.
Little
in this
culty.
thing that she was attending.
You're breaking down people, like, mentally to build them back up, but you're really building them up into whatever you want to build them into.
Yeah, so I just thought I would mention that because at this point, what they're saying is very similar to the type of, because you get out and you had the shit beat out of you, and they're like, "What'd you think?" And you're like, "It was great.
It was great. I really needed that.
I really had a good time."
That last quote that I said, the elevated level of being, comes from a Dr. Isaac Jones. Now, I don't want to again, we could get really crazy here. But I just did a little digging on Dr. Jones because him and his wife were both quoted in the review section, and he also made a video testimony for this program. And I don't want to imply in any way that he's involved in this story, but I thought it would be worth noting that he is also himself a bit of a proclaimed biohacker and used to own a business called Superhuman Entrepreneur, which is all about unlocking your body's peak performance. He has since rebranded with the same doctor that was involved in his first business and now runs a business called Elevase, where their goal is to, quote, help you access peak health and high performance for life. They do this through their concentrated high performance systems that are customized to you both genetically and epigenetically.
Weird.
It's talking about you being a better entrepreneur, but they're doctors.
Super weird. Really changed. I just looked it up. Tony Robbins was not the person. Just so you know, Tony Robbins was not the person. That one's on me. I just want to go ahead and correct myself.
Tony Robbins. Tony Robbins has a big smile on his face. He's not hitting people.
Yeah, he did get in trouble for something, and that was the first thing that came up.
He gets in trouble for other
something
things.
about abuse, so I thought it was the same thing. But those were real things, and I'm going to try and figure out what it was and let you guys know later. I'll post some sort of answer in the Discord if I can find it.
And it wasn't NXIVM either.
No, it wasn't NXIVM. It was something like 70s or 80s.
But NXIVM was very similar into what they did too. It was just breaking you down. Yeah.
Okay, I just wanted to correct myself. Sorry, everyone.
Sorry, Tony.
Sorry, Tony.
So, interestingly, the other attendees also appear to be either coaches or involved with the medical industry in some way.
Weird.
I don't know. That just seemed strange to me. Typically, as somebody who's attended networking events, they try to group different industries together for the events because that's relevant. But this was a lot of
almost reminds me
homeopathic doctors and
some
startups.
Dr. Kellogg-esque type medical science going on to make you a better person.
I also wanted to note Erin's journalistic work, specifically her interview with a Mr. Thomas Reardon. So I think this was back in 2015 that she sat down with him. But this is the same Thomas Reardon who invented Internet Explorer and partnered with Bill Gates. Here's what she wrote about speaking with Mr. Reardon. So I believe that this is the information that they gave her on what they were doing. So it's very technical. Anyway. The future of brain-machine interfaces is not invasive. Instead of surgical implants, Control Labs uses state-of-the-art detection and machine learning to read your neurons from outside the body. The first step will be technology precisely picking up on the signals from inside your body to control devices outside of it, with little more than natural gestures. The next step, and we are already closer than most people realize, will be reading the intention directly from your brain. Control Labs is pioneering something entirely new at the intersection of biology and code. We did this by assembling a rare cadre of scientists and technologists. PhD in computational neuroscience, biomechanics paired with hackers and coders, experts in signal processing, machine learning, and human-computer interaction, and industrial designers.
It's a lot of words.
It's a lot of words, but I really like the part about, I really wanted to talk about the part where he's talking about how, like, first he's like, yeah, you'll be able to control devices with your brain. But then he's like, yeah, we'll be able to read your mind.
Yeah.
We'll be able to read your mind.
Surrounded by some very, like, I don't know if powerful is the word, but, like, what feels to me like a lot of, like, bad energy surrounded a lot of the stuff that she was surrounded by.
Definitely.
I don't know if it had anything to do with her, but, like, I don't know, the stuff that these people are talking about just doesn't feel, it just feels like, I don't know, for some reason, like, almost like Uncanny Valley-esque. It's like they're people, but they're not.
Yeah.
in the way that they talk.
Definitely. I also wanted to mention another quote that Erin left behind with her family. So we have the bit about her going home for Thanksgiving. And then she had also said, right, quote, "We're all in the Matrix. It's a game, a thought experiment." The next thing that she said, or at some point during the night, she also said, "Mind control equals neuro control."
Totally normal conversation that she had with her mom.
Yeah.
Not alluding to anything. No, totally normal.
No. And it's just a manic episode, right? It doesn't have anything to do with all of these people that she's been interacting with. Like, I don't know. It's just a little strange. So here's where things get even more conspiratorial. You'll remember what we talked about one of Erin's passions earlier. She was an anti-sex trafficking advocate. Well, a week after Erin was found in her car, another woman, Rochelle Bergeron, was killed. Rochelle was an American, was 36 years old, and weirdly enough, was an attorney general of the island of Yap, which is an island in the Philippines. She had been speaking to her constituency about how to recognize human traffickers or how to resist or stop them. While the most talked about form of human trafficking is sex trafficking, there are other reasons people are abducted and forced into slavery. Some are used for forced labor, and others, well, I say this as if I have any sort of authority on the topic, but others could be used for organ harvesting and/or human experimentation.
Ah!
What?
Human trafficking is very serious.
What?
And
it is very serious.
That's very sad.
It's absolutely horrifying.
She was also murdered.
But she was also a trafficking advocate.
So you feel like there was some connection because they were both trafficking
It's just
advocates?
weird. I just wanted to know all of the weird stuff that surrounded Erin Valenti's death. A week later, another woman, another human trafficking advocate was also killed.
Yeah.
Or found dead.
Maybe they knew something.
I don't know. Finally, I wanted to highlight Erin's work prior to Tinker when she spent almost a year as a product developer for Overstock.com. Overstock.com itself also had some run-ins with conspiracy.
Yeah, once I read this, I don't know how are they still a business?
I don't know.
Because this man was they just had him in a room. He was smearing his shit on the walls.
He was the
while
CEO.
They were just running around operating that business.
I don't know what he was doing. I don't know
clue.
what they were doing. But it was the same year. So this is just on August 12th, 2019, CEO Patrick Byrne released statements to the press that included the following claims. Quote, "Starting in 2015, I, operating under the belief that I was helping legitimate law enforcement efforts, assisted in what are now known as the Clinton investigation and the Russian investigation. In fact, I am the notorious missing Chapter 1 of the Russian investigation. It was the third time in my life I helped the men in black. The first was when my friend Brian Williams was murdered, and the second was when I helped the men in black shake up Wall Street a decade ago. Unfortunately, this third time turned out to be less law enforcement and more about political espionage conducted against Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump, and to a lesser degree Marco Rubio and Ted Cruz. In July 2018, I put the pieces together. I immediately came forward to a congressman and a senior military officer, to the Department of Justice this April, and upon my Omaha rabbi reminding me of my duty as a citizen this late June, to a small set of journalists this summer. Miss Carter was among them. Her 2 stories were accurate. Having confirmed Miss Carter's 2 articles, I have fulfilled those citizenship obligations of which my rabbi reminded me. I will speak no more on the subject. Instead, having lived in places lacking rule of law and having witnessed the consequences of its absence, I plan on sitting back and watching the United States Department of Justice reestablish rule of law in our country.
Sir, I just need this paper. I just need you to sign this paper. This man was the CEO.
People must know.
You know they hated going in there and having to talk to him about something because this is what happened every time, I bet.
It gets even weirder. In an interview with the New York Times published 3 days later, Byrne claimed that he was romantically involved with Marina Butina, the Russian operative who used her National Rifle Association activism to infiltrate American politics.
All these CEOs are just inbreeding. I think they're just getting stupider and stupider. I don't know how Overstock is still here.
I don't know. Well, he left. He left shortly after.
He didn't leave. He
was
was escorted out.
He was.
With a muzzle around his mouth.
So, yeah. Once I cracked open this store, it's very difficult not to just take it deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper. Like the article talking about how the NRA spent much more than reported during the 2016 election, or how the Department of Homeland Security could be utilizing psychotechnology research from human testing in Moscow, or how the NRA was a foreign asset to Russia in 2016, or how there are already products in existence with directional audio technology that can create sound in a narrow beam, just like light, allowing the user to beam sound directly to their desired listening area. But I think I'd rather leave it open-ended and hear what our listeners think.
Yeah, it's so easy to go from conspiratorial belief to I have crossed the 5th tangent, and here I am in YouTube watching Hillary Clinton Mitch McConnell lizard men videos.
Yeah.
And
like you really could just take the story and go really wild with it. And I did a little bit, but I also wanted to maintain my sanity to bring you more content, listeners, really.
Yeah, you have to be able to reel yourself in.
Yeah, exactly.
Because if you don't, boy, you're 1 minute you're on the internet and the next you're inside the Capitol looking and bumbling around with 100 other people who just couldn't stop. So you got to be careful, guys.
Just like, how did I get here?
Yeah, you just got to stop and think, wow, I may have made some missteps.
Oh, wait. There's the line. I found it.
Yes,
I'm
on the other side of the line.
I'm gonna back.
No,
back.
you're already you're looking back at it. You're like,
oh, you crossed it.
Oh no.
Oh, that was the line. Back pedal.
Yeah.
Back pedal. But yeah, that is the multifaceted story of the very industrious boss babe, Erin Valenti. Today, Erin's family made sure that she lived on in a way that I think she would have wanted. They established a scholarship fund at the University of Utah to honor her memory, with a goal of supporting female students who share a passion for entrepreneurship. As of last year, it had raised over $100,000.
Well, that's nice at least. I mean, it's not great that she died, but at least they got something in her memory.
Yeah.
That's great. It's a strange story, and I don't know what happened to her. I don't know what death by mania is, because I know people with manic episodes, and I've seen a bad manic episode before,
right.
And I know that they are now, I mean, they're not dead.
Right.
And so what does that mean? How did she die? And
what
why
happened
was she
in
the
between
backseat?
Monday and Saturday?
Yeah, why did she stop? I mean, I guess she could have stopped drinking water. I don't know, because you can only live for a couple of days without water.
Right, but that wasn't like dehydration. That wasn't the cause of death. Again,
exactly.
It wasn't like a heart
it's
condition.
the cause of death that is confusing.
So weird.
And this is a relatively new case of strange death, and so there's not a ton of information out there on it, and honestly there might never be, because it seems like no one sadly seems to care very much.
Yeah, I don't know. To me it feels like she kind of like, I don't know, she might have stumbled onto something or into something that she wasn't supposed to.
Yeah, that tends to happen when you're running 100 miles an hour. That's why I wake up at 10 a.m.
That's why I just take it easy, folks. One day at a time.
You know, let's soak your feet sometimes.
Everything will be there
take
tomorrow.
A hot shower,
what?
Relax.
Did you say suck
Dude,
on
my
feet?
grandparents used soak.
Oh, soak. I thought
No. Don't suck toes
feet.
unless you're into that, and I respectfully decline
I mean,
your offer.
good for you. If that's what you want to do, go for it. But that's not what I'm about.
No, me either.
Soaking your feet.
Not right
yes. No, go have a nice foot soak.
enjoy yourself every now and then. You don't got to go 100 miles an hour all the time. Otherwise, you end up in the sights of the Illuminati.
You might, yeah. If you just keep working your way up to the top, you might not like what you find up there. That's all I'm saying.
It's still, you climb your way up shit mountain and you get to the top, and you're still just standing on shit. Yeah. So it's not really that different.
Yeah.
Well, that's it though.
That's it though,
yeah.
folks.
That's it, the episode.
That's the episode for you.
Yeah, great. Thanks for listening.
Do we have any happy notes to end on or anything, Chad?
This week I did actually learn that I enjoy the tea drink London Fog. And so that's something nice to end on. Those are very tasty, and I love them. And they're way less calories than a latte, and so I encourage everyone out there to go get yourself a London Fog.
Ooh.
Enjoy the chill of spring because it's coming.
Yeah, the sun is shining here in Montana. I have a tea thing too. I got a really nice little new teapot, and it makes me feel fancy.
It's wonderful.
And it's like, anyway, I'll post a picture in the Discord.
Yeah, come check us out.
But it makes me happy
Discord.
every day, so
yeah,
go find something that makes you happy.
You should. Everyone should once a day. All right, guys. If you want to join us on the Discord and see Emily's beautiful little tea set, you can find a link to it on Instagram and Twitter at _LRH_pod. There's a link on both of those, and it's totally free. Create an account, sign up, come say hello to us. We post all sorts of stuff in there, and it's there's free. Our patrons will get some extra stuff in there soon, I hope. And yeah, come check us out on there.
Yeah, speaking of Patreon, go check us out on patreon.com/TheLRH podcast. We have multiple tiers for you to join. Come be a hitchhiker, a shotgun rider, or what is it? Backseat driver. Yeah. You can also find us on Facebook at The LRH Pod, and you can reach us via email at thelrhshow@gmail.com.
Yep, and don't forget to review us if you're listening on Apple. We'd love to get some more on there. And any news is good news, as they say, so I don't care what you got to say. Just
say it.
Just say it to our faces.
Just do
Don't
it.
be afraid. So
if you're on YouTube, if you're on YouTube, if you're listening over there,
like and subscribe
we
on
haven't
YouTube.
forgotten about you guys. Like and subscribe. We love y'all.
I've apologized for those of you who might be listening on YouTube or know someone that is, I guess. I haven't been able to upload an episode the past week or two, but I'm going to hop on that as soon as I can. They are coming, so just be patient. And so that's it, right?
That's it.
All right, guys. So thanks for listening to this week's episode. Next week is going to get a little devilish.
Ooh.
I'm excited for our next topic, and I think you guys are going to enjoy it. It might end up being a 2-part series. So stay tuned for that. And check out our mini-sode next week.
That's right. Like always, join us next time on
The Long Road Home.
Home.
Goodbye, everyone.
Goodbye.